Hello there, guys. It's Pearl Jr. here. How are you guys doing today? Well, I just wanted to come on and do a live video and tell you guys some extended clues or reminder clues or things to look forward to. Okay, and some not so good news, but I've been doing a little bit of research and I wanted to tell you guys about the rumor that Michael Jackson has been excluded from the Motown 60 celebration. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they can. I know the Jackson 5 are going to be a part of it. They just got to be. You know, not on the word of perjurers that are talking in front of a camera and have used tales of real victims in order to make their story seem more plausible. And you know what's so crazy? Okay, Wade and Safechuck are supposed to be like 4 years apart, with Safechuck turning 40 or being 40. I mean, his age is kind of off by a year, 2 years or something. But anyway, so they're supposed to be around the same age. And they said they were abused by Michael for years. So it would seem like Michael was two-timing, the one that said Michael married him. I mean, it's just the most ridiculous, stupidest story ever in the history of the world, that Michael married a kid and then Michael played on him, cheated on his husband, his kid husband, with Robson. I mean, it just gets too stupid, and Jordy Chandler, and it just gets too ridiculous. We cannot believe this stuff. I'm working on something, guys, okay? I don't know if it'll happen, but I am working on something with someone on a big scale. But it's such a big scale, it's like a pipe dream, so I don't know if it'll happen, but wish me luck, okay? But anyway, it's just the whole thing about, must we go through this again and go down this road again? So anyway, that's something. But a lot of people are always confused about the 93 allegations and why Michael's insurance settled. And it's always amazing to me that people don't know the rest of the story, which is Michael sued because there was supposed to be some videotape. And Michael knew there was no videotape. And he sued and won an award of over $2.7 million on that lie. And Michael also sued the stupid maid and 4 other people about lying on him and stealing from him, and he won another $1.4 million from them. But we don't hear about those cases in which Michael knew by suing them that they can go back and dig up proof that Michael was molesting a kid, and nothing ever came of any trial of the 93. Nothing ever came up of anything. I did want to go over just a couple of things with that. I remember in the 2005 trial, Diane Dimond, who is back on the scene. Anytime somebody brings up Michael, she thinks that she owns the Michael Jackson story, and she has been wrong so many times, and she had mud on her face. She was molded when Michael was fully acquitted in 2005. She was like the prima donna of the media pool up in Santa Maria, which I was credentialed media, and I saw her, and she had the most equipment. She had the most things. She had Savannah Guthrie was her little assistant that was running around for Diane. And so Diana thought that she deserved, to be the media pundit at that trial, in which she was molded because she was wrong. Michael was fully acquitted. But what I learned in the trial, and I learned this, and I was sitting in the courtroom, and Jason Francia was a little kid, and his mother was a maid. Blanca was a maid for Michael, and Diane Dimond paid them $20,000 to lie on Michael Jackson. Okay, $20,000. And you know what? Tom Mesro caught them in a lie because the mother testified and the son testified, right? And they said Michael gave him $100, gave them $100. But their what they testified to was one of them said it was 250s and another one said it was a $100 bill. So you knew right then and there that they were lying, that Michael paid them to fondle the little boy, okay? And when you're paid $20,000 in a hotel by Diane Dimond, who's been stalking and harassing Michael Jackson for years with Tom Sneddon and was the buddy of Tom Sneddon, and her friend, one of her friends, married Ron Zonin, who was Tom Sneddon's assistant DA. So it just gets so ridiculous that they were all in this little sewing circle on the phone trying to dig up dirt, trying to bring the king of pop down, and wasn't a black one amongst them, okay? So that goes to tell you it was in my opinion, and a lot of it derives from white supremacy racism. That's what I think, that Michael was so great and he was so wonderful and he was so good and he topped all the records, that people just didn't like him. They were jealous of his success. Okay? Now, so Diane Dimond, girl, and I remember also when that happened, she sat behind me and I turned around and I said, "Do you have a card?" And she gave me her business card, right? She didn't know I was going to slam her in one of my True Talk shows, which I did, of course, paying $20,000 to get somebody to lie on Michael Jackson, okay? So, and Michael ended up having to pay that little kid to shut up because Michael thought two people saying it's going to make it seem more true, okay, than one person saying it, and they swindled and extorted Michael out of $1 million, okay? So you just got to be really, really careful who you hang around with and make sure that they're not money hungry, okay? The other thing is, I wanted to kind of go over, oh yeah, and then there was another $60 million lawsuit by Evan Chandler, Jordy Chandler's greedy extortionist dad, who wanted Michael to fund Men in Tights, Robin Hood Men in Tights movie, and when Michael refused, and also Michael refused to build a wing onto this man's house, okay, he got mad and he decided to make up the entire lie that his son was molested by Michael, and they put him under some dentist drug to make him think delusions. And the boy said that something happened with Michael, but it didn't, and the picture didn't match of the penis when they went and photographed Michael, because Tom Sneddon was looking for it to match, okay, so that he can file criminal charges against Michael. 2 grand juries refused to indict Michael Jackson in '93. Over 200 witnesses were questioned, and the LAPD, Santa Barbara PD, the LA District Attorney, and the Child and Family Services never indicted Michael Jackson in '93. So that's why there weren't criminal charges. But back to the $60 million lawsuit, a subsequent greedy lawsuit after Evan, June, his ex-wife, which is Jordy's mother, got paid, because they all three shared that money. Whatever amount it was, we've heard 10,000, 15,000, 20, 22,000. I mean, 22 million, excuse me. We've heard 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, 22 million. We don't know how much it was because it was a confidential settlement, okay? Now, and I believe that when, well, I'm not going to go there, okay? So anyway, there was another subsequent $60 million lawsuit that was filed, okay? And I got my little notes up here, and I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to bring them up, okay? Here we go. I'm going to turn my camera around, and we're going to talk about the $60 million lawsuit. Okay, this is the $60 million lawsuit. Peter had sent me the whole entire thing as well, but I wanted to give you guys the short version. And this is in 1996, and Evan Chandler tried suing MJ and 300 co-conspirators in a civil court seeking $60 million in rights to produce his own album. See, he wanted to be a superstar. This was after 2 grand juries had already rejected the criminal allegations. Okay, so this article is kind of like from this guy, and he says, why are you trying to sue? You know, I think it was Michael's history album, and he thought that since Michael was expressing how he felt, that he was breaking the confidentiality, and that all the money from the album he should get. Yeah, it was the history album. It was the history album. And all the money from the album that he should get, and he wanted to produce Evan's story, you know, and he wanted it to be taken seriously, and Michael owed him. And see the confidentiality agreement, 1994, where is it? There it is. There it is. Aided and abetted by the cast of characters. Jackson violated terms of their confidential 1994 agreement, because it was January 94 is when that agreement was settled, but the drama behind it is 93, and that's why they always say 93. And he tried to sue Lisa Marie because they went on the Diane Sawyer show and all this other stuff. And what I thought, he lost, of course. He lost this case, this civil case, but this was really good that this author, his name is Dwayne Wickman, this was a really good line that I wanted to share with you. Evan, get a life. The statute of limitations for your child abuse charge expires in 3 years. If Michael Jackson did the unspeakable to your boy, give prosecutors the evidence they need to put him in jail. Put up or shut up. Okay, I'm going to turn my camera around because we need to discuss that. Okay, we need to discuss that. Let's see my dirty desk. Okay, so, well, my messy desk. It's not really dirty, it's really messy, okay? But, like, Michael's desk was really messy. Michael's kind of a hoarder. But anyway. So, so that was important because here we are, where there was a statute of limitations, where Evan Chandler, June Chandler, Jordy Chandler, if they had any proof, they could have still filed criminal charges against Michael Jackson. But instead, they took the money the first time, and then they sued for more money. You see, it was just ridiculous. And so there was plenty of opportunity for them to prove. Now, if the picture matched of the kid's description of Michael's penis, and they took pictures of the penis, okay, they would have put Michael in jail. That's why they took the pictures in the first place. Anybody that said it matched and then they said, oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. If that child's description would have matched, they would have handcuffed Michael Jackson right then and there. Okay? Now, the reason why the Arvizos is a copycat case, I'm going to tell you, in 2005, was because the law had changed, and Sneddon had made sure the law had changed, that before you can sue civilly for child abuse, child sexual abuse. And I think Sneddon had like 9 kids, or a whole bunch of kids, okay? But anyway, that's another side note. I got so much in my head. That you had to first prosecute them criminally. See? Got to first prosecute them criminally in order to have, so that no one could just go for the money, right? So that's why there was the 2005 criminal charge. Janet Arvizo, Gavin Arvizo's mother, Star Arvizo's mother, Davelin Arvizo's mother, they went after the money. They went after the same attorneys, and they went after the money, but because of this law, they had to go ahead and file criminally. And Tom Sneddon, word is, he went and put his card under their door because him, Diane Dimond, and the rest of their gang of harassers did all that they could to bring Michael Jackson down. Okay, because they believed he was a molester because kids said so. Got to talk about this Me Too movement, okay? Of course, I feel bad for anybody molested. Oh my God. You know, and so many of us have secrets that we don't tell about certain things that have happened to us, okay? It affects people in different ways, okay? So I never want to minimize real victims that are real sufferers of child sexual abuse or adult rape or anything like that. But Me Too has gotten to the point where anybody can say anything about anybody. And anybody that's judging somebody that's been accused, guess what? You can be accused the next 5 minutes. Okay? And they want to destroy people's lives and all this stuff, but when it's words coming out of the mouth. Okay? So when Michael sued, okay, the Neverland Five, and then he sued Diane Dimond and Victor Gutierrez and that whole group, okay, about saying that there was a videotape of Michael having oral sex, or oral sex was happening between him and a kid. Michael said, bring the tape! And he knew it didn't exist because he knew he didn't do it. So that was pretty much the trial that proved his innocence from the Jordy Chandler situation from the 93 case. Very important. Very important. Because if they had proof, now I'm hearing from the Wade Robson Safechuck that Michael recorded it, but he recorded over it. So of course there's no tape. But all that story is just to make it seem credible, make it seem logical. Now apparently there is definitely a second R. Kelly tape, okay, and a third, possibly, R. Kelly tape that CNN producers, investigators have seen of R. Kelly. R. Kelly was rumored to have recorded him having sex with underage kids. Okay, and we know with R. Kelly that he married a 15-year-old. We also know with Elvis that when he got with Priscilla, she was 14 and he was in his early 20s. Okay, but nothing happened to Elvis. We got an Elvis tribute, right? Right? You know, Jerry Lee Lewis married his little cousin, right? That was underage. Nothing happened to them. How about what's his name? The producer, Woody Allen. Okay, nothing happening to them. Okay, and what about Roman Polanski? He's left. He convicted, admitted it, sodomized, drugged her, and guess what? We're still seeing the movies he produces. So when people say don't bring race up, I am bringing race up. Because see, those ones that are definitely pedophiles, that were caught, that admitted it, that we have proof, okay, nothing happened. All we do is hear a story about it, but no prosecution of it, okay? And when Roman Polanski was prosecuted, he skipped the country and never came, but we still import his movies. We still watch his movies, right? His movies still get awards. But the Me Too movement, everybody, we gotta stay with the basic premise of the U.S. law, which is everyone is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So when we see this Leaving Neverland, because it's going to be good, I know it is, and it's going to be persuasive, and they got intertwining footage. I heard that every time Michael did this, he was signaling the kid that he wanted to have sex later, or he was thinking about him. Michael had issues with his nose. He had empty nose syndrome. Okay, because black skin keloids, which means that when it's cut, it has extra tissue that grows, and it was blocking Michael's airways. So some of Michael's interior of his nose had to be removed so that he could breathe. So he was doing that so that he can make sure that whatever's supposed to be in there stays in there. Okay, because Michael had issues, not only with the burn on his scalp, the nose keloid issues, and that's why he had to have the second surgery, and the vitiligo. So Michael was not about exposing what he really looked like without being put together to a kid who can be cruel. Oh, what's wrong with your skin? You know, so Michael's supposed to be wanting to show his blotchy skin to kids who really don't know better, who would really be scared and not understand that it's just a depigmenting disease called vitiligo. Michael didn't want to show that to anyone. Okay, so this is all just hogwash, okay? But anyway, so I wanted to talk to you guys about just kind of an update and just me kind of venting some more on the whole Wade Robson James Safechuck thing, but I'm working on something, okay? I'm working on something. I don't know if it'll happen. Okay, but I want to talk about some other things that are about the death hoax, okay? It's kind of a reminder clue, but it's with extra stuff, so we're going to start right now. Okay, turn my camera around. Okay. We're not going to go there. Not just yet. Let's go here. There's a blind item. Quincy Jones claims male singer is still alive. Okay. So this is Quincy saying that Michael Jackson is still alive, right? This was right after the case settled. It was right after the case settled in which it was a copyright infringement case in which Quincy Jones, who also, his lawyers were also a part of the Wade Robson James Safechuck case too for a while. Okay, it was it's Gradstein, and then they got other lawyers. Wade and Safechuck got other lawyers called Finality. Okay, but let's go back to Quincy Jones. Okay, so here we go. And Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson was as Machiavellian as they come. Now, Machiavellian, what does that remind you of? Okay, it reminds you of Tupac, right? Machiavelli, Tupac, right? And Tupac being alive, right? Let's see, Tupac being alive. Here we go. Naturally, the appearance of Don Kilmunati, I guess, Kilumati. Oh, Kilumati. Okay, with like Illuminati, Illuminati. Okay, so shortly after Tupac's death led many conspiracy theories to surmise the rapper was still alive. Okay, and Machiavelli, even though it's spelled a little bit different, okay, because the real Machiavelli is spelled M-A-C-H, and this is, but rappers always change the spelling. But the Machiavelli, right, is about somebody who does a lot of like hoaxes and schemes and deception, right? So they thought Tupac faked his death, right? Because of the whole Machiavelli and all that stuff, right? So we will go back to Quincy, right? You go back to Quincy Jones, and he says Michael was as Machiavellian as they come, and Michael is a big hoaxer, right? And Quincy already said he always thinks Michael Jackson is still alive. But in this article, during this time, he was saying that Michael Jackson plagiarized Donna Summer's song, State of Independence. And just to give props out to Cecil's dad, Cecil Holmes, who's also on the Michael Jackson Thriller album and the Thank Yous, because he was a big guy, big wig in the black music scene of the 70s and the 80s. Well, anyway, Cecil's dad is the one that discovered Donna Summer. And he is the one that said Donna Summer was going to be the queen of disco and all this stuff. So Cecil's dad is a part of the whole Donna Summer success. But anyway, so there's a song called State of Independence, right? And Quincy said, and Quincy was the producer of this song, and Quincy said that's where Michael got the basic, I guess, bass beat of Billie Jean, right? So if you guys want to, compare it, you can. You can compare it if you want to. But he said, but it was so weird. And Quincy also said some other things about Michael's skin disease was BS. How do you know? Michael was trying his best to hide it for years and years and years. So maybe he hid it from you so well, that you didn't even know that he had the skin disease. Because Karen Faye, before her and I fell out, me and Karen Faye went to the Christmas parade together in around 2001, 2000. And I've been over to Karen's house, and my kids have been swimming in Karen's pool. So you guys don't know that I do know Karen Faye personally. Since then, we had fallen out over a situation between my friend, who was once her friend. But I won't say that on this video right now, but Karen Faye and I. But Karen Faye told me back in 2001 that Michael Jackson really did have vitiligo, and that he tried really hard to not let her find out that he had it, and she was his makeup artist, so he even tried to hide the vitiligo from Karen Faye. Okay, but anyway, so this song, okay, State of Independence, I have something up for you guys here. Where is this? Here we go. The lyrics to State of Independence, right? Quincy already said he thinks Michael Jackson is alive, right? So here is Donna Summer's song, State of Independence. And the reason why I'm not playing it, because sometimes when you play people's music on Facebook, they flag your video, and they won't let your video is not allowed on their stream, so on your page. But anyway, here's the lyrics of State of Independence. State of life, may I live, may I love, coming out the sky, I name me a name. So we know that that's very much like Michael Jackson, because he is living right now under an alias name, several alias names. I don't even know all of them, but Michael used alias names all the time, okay? And he also used them as decoys, okay? And I'm just going to interject real quick. Anybody that's calling me a fake and calling Peter a fake, right? When they're using a fake name, they don't have their picture online, they're the fake. I mean, it's the height of hypocrisy. Somebody calling Peter a fake over and over and over again. Meanwhile, you don't know who the heck they are. And you don't know what they look like. You don't even know their voice. Okay, so let's not give credibility to people that have no names and that have no faces, okay? And no voices. They're just trolls, okay? And they do not deserve respect. Just like how we respect people with check marks. Okay, we respect those people who show their face and you know their names. Pearl Jr. is my real name. It's just not my full name, but it is my real name. Okay, and you see my real face. Okay, and you've seen my real face for years. Okay, so here we go. Here's another part of the lyric to State of Independence, right? Yes, I do know how I survived. Yes, I do know why I'm alive, to love and be with you day by day by day, right? So there's an alive reference in this one song, right? So now, guess what we have coming in this year? I don't know. We have a date, but June 23rd. That's right. We have a June 23rd date. June 23rd date in London at the O2 Arena. Quincy Jones is going to be doing a tribute to Michael Jackson, and he's going to be highlighting songs from the Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad album, in which Quincy helped to produce. Back to the lawsuit that Quincy had filed against Michael for copyright infringement that he won, and then he came out just slinging, talking a whole bunch of stuff, but also he was promoting his documentary, was that they had mixed Michael Jackson's songs so much that they didn't think they needed to pay Quincy royalties. And yeah, they did have to pay Quincy royalties because that was a part of his contract, that he got first right of refusal. I'm going to turn the camera around. Come on. Okay. That he got first right of refusal to mix any of Michael's songs, and that he forever gets a percentage of all sales and all royalties. So I had told Peter, Michael, Bobby, myself, baby, pay him. And they offered him, I think, $1 million, and they was like, $1 million ain't enough. I said to offer $5 million, which I think they might have taken. Okay, Quincy lawyers might have taken $5 million, but they went to trial. The jury awarded Quincy over $9 million. Okay, to me it was cut and dry. But for Quincy right after that to come out and say Michael's alive, so these lawyers that are a part of Robson and Safechuck's case, the Gradstein. Do they know Michael's still alive? Have they researched it? Because I remember with Brian Panish, who was Catherine's attorney, which I have in my Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson docs, where I'm outside of the courthouse because I covered that trial. And he says, Pearl Jr., I know who you are. I know your hoax website. I know you, Pearl. Okay? So he even knew. Okay? So it's out there. Anybody that researches Michael Jackson for 10 to 15 minutes is going to run across a death hoax video. It is up to the individual to check further, okay, or just ignore it. So right now are Wade Robson and James Safechuck's lawyer purposely defaming a living person, and they know it. And they're hiding their trick, which I call it a trick and a threat of extortion. That's what I feel it is. They're hiding it with this documentary because they've been after a whole bunch of money, hundreds of millions. Jermaine said up to 1.5 million, but legally I haven't seen a number figure on it, but it's up there. Okay. And it's for money, because why else? Okay. Why else? But anyway, let me not mix things. Well, gosh, I forgot what I was going to say because I got so much in my mind. I got so much information in my mind, and sometimes I know I have to keep notes, right? Somebody remind me what I was just going to say. Okay, so anyway, do they know that Michael Jackson is still alive? Because they can research it very, very easily, just like Brian Panish researched it very easily. And their extortion, that's what I'm going to say. They premiered it at the Sundance Film Festival because reportedly Dan Reed, who's the producer, already had a multi-picture deal with HBO. Okay, and they did The Pedophile Hunter, so this was right on their alley. And then it was a late entry into Sundance. They purposely probably decided to put it in Sundance as a threat to the estate. Okay, and I believe that standing ovation was staged. by their supporters, and everybody else feeling sorry for children and the little tears, and Safechuck, his hands supposedly trembling when he showed the supposed ring Michael got him. They were trembling because he knows he's lying and he's scared of it. Okay, so I believe it was a threat. I believe the Sundance is a threat to say, okay, we're going to show this to a few people. Get out now, give us some money now, or we're putting it through the whole world on Channel 4 in the UK or HBO. And I believe they already know that nothing proves that Michael Jackson is dead. And Michael, the way you save yourself, just like you went behind the 93 settlement and you proved your innocence by giving them every opportunity to show proof that you were a child molester, and they came up empty, and you ended up winning money. You ended up winning a multi-million-dollar lawsuit for over $1 million. Okay, you need to do something about this. Okay, an injunction needs to be filed against that production company, against HBO, against Channel 4, and they need to stop it and go ahead. And if you got to go through a trial, okay, go through a trial, because at least you have a chance to defend yourself. Because once this airs, people can't forget these images. People can't forget it. It'll be like, oh, I can't take it, of an adult, you know, having sex with a kid, and it's a porn. To me, it's a spoken word porn. That's what I think it is. It's a documentary, but I believe it's rated X, and it's probably the first of its kind that's this graphic about children. This graphic, the detailing sex with a kid, it should be considered too pornographic and too disgusting to be aired on anybody's television screen anywhere, especially in the United States, which we have jurisdiction over. But you can do the UK. I'm sure they have similar laws too. It seems like it's a spoken word fairy tale. It's a fantasy. It's child pornography. It's like a child pornography book, but you can see the words coming out of their mouth. Okay? It is disgusting. Okay? And it should be illegal. Okay? And something should be done about it. Okay? So we have all that. Let me see if I have more stuff. Okay? Yes, I have one more thing that I'm going to talk about, the postponement. Okay, Michael Jackson's musical has been postponed. I might have mentioned this already. It's been postponed it's supposed to go straight to Broadway. It's supposed to launch the summer of 2020. But the auditions in Chicago, because it was supposed to debut in Chicago this fall of 2019, but it's been pushed back. Okay, so the Jacksons Michael is already losing revenues, okay, already losing revenues due to this slander child pornography documentary that's getting ready to air. It's child pornography. It's like somebody writing a book about child pornography that's for sale, okay? So triple XXX is what this is supposed to be, and something needs to be done about it. And I'm sorry. Us fans can't do it all. We need more Jackson family members on this. We really, really do. Okay? We need more of you guys to, come out and support our efforts. And maybe you're waiting till to see if they can stop it from airing by filing an emergency injunction and stopping it and having a court case about it. Because at least if there's a court case and there is a trial and there's a lawsuit, at least you get a chance to defend yourself, instead of this one-sided documentary going out by the guy that's so good at making documentaries. He got a multi-picture deal with one of the biggest companies in the world, HBO. So, and then since Safechuck and Robson knew Michael, there's footage. There's footage that they can intertwine to make seem believable. Okay? Oh my God, I'm terrified of this, because I'm someone who has spent 15 years of my life nearly defending Michael Jackson, and I haven't seen anything at all. Emmanuel Lewis. Yes, He came out and said he is so tired of these child molestation accusations and they're so old, but he just had to say, look, Michael didn't do it. He just had to, let's see, let me see. I think I saved his, that Taj, but it didn't have a blue arrow on it. Okay, it didn't have a blue arrow. Emmanuel. Oh, I know I saved it. There we go. Emmanuel Lewis. Oh, that's just a picture, but I know I had the tweet. Emmanuel Lewis. Emmanuel. Oh, I don't have it. I thought I had it, but you know what? If you guys can just bear with me, and I will go on Twitter real quick because I know Taj Jackson. He had retweeted it. Okay, and I will, you know, show you guys what he retweeted, and oh, and then I do have one other little thing. Okay, don't let me forget one more little thing. I better write a note. Okay, remember Peter, a live trilogy. Okay, I got another little thing that I don't want to forget. I got to write my notes down because there's so much in my head that if I don't give my notes, I can go off to the side and say all kinds of stuff, right? Because this is live. This is live. So let's look for Taj's retweet. Here we go. I'm going to turn my camera around. Okay, here is the retweet by Emmanuel Lewis. He doesn't have a check mark, so I searched and I didn't see an Emmanuel Lewis with a check mark, but hopefully this is his. He says, let's be 100% clear here. I was never a victim. My big bro, Michael, has been nothing but kind and a role model to me and my family. I suggest you pick a subject you really know because obviously you don't know Michael and you don't know me. Spread peace, not false rumors. Peace out and love, okay? That's from Emmanuel Lewis, okay? That's from Emmanuel Lewis. And I remember them talking about going to the Grammys, and because Michael had Brooke Shields as his date, and Emmanuel Lewis went with them too, and he said that him and Michael would go, I like her most, no, I like her most, no, I like her most, you know, so, you know, they both kind of competed over Brooke Shields, you know, so, and then the lie that Michael said, Robson testified that, or said, not testified, he testified that Michael never molested him and pretty much said the same thing that Emmanuel Lewis just said, okay? But Wade said in this documentary, reportedly, because I haven't seen the documentary, that Michael would teach him how to hate women. Michael taught him how to hate women so much that Michael set up his niece Brandy, set up Brandy with Jackie's daughter, with Wade. So their stories don't make sense. The only chance we have is an emergency injunction, sue the law firm and sue Wade and Safechuck and the production companies for extortion. Okay? That's all you know. And you better do it before it airs, okay? Because it's child pornography that's getting ready to air in spoken words, okay? Spoken words and a visual. Okay, so I'm going to show you one last clue, okay? One last clue for today, and it's just kind of fun. I'm going to turn my camera around, and I'm going to show you one last clue. Okay, come on. I'm going to pull it up before I do this, and hopefully I have, what's this? Okay, so I'm going to scroll. I'm going to turn my camera around. Okay, I'm going to scroll. This is my buddy, my pal, Peter Michael Bobby, who has given me enough evidence that you can see in a live 3, Michael Jackson, The Living Dead, that I believe that he's Michael Joe Jackson. Okay, that's what I believe. If you want to believe something different, you are free to believe it or you are free not to believe it. But I show you the evidence that has convinced me. And the evidence includes Lloyd Toya. It includes Papa Joe. It includes Prince. It includes the estate. It includes Chris Tucker. It includes, let's see, who else? It includes, the Rare Pearl album, and it includes, the Scream event came out afterwards. The Scream event came afterwards, and so did the Michael Jackson DeathHoax.com domain I used to own, that the estate owned it. domain, okay? But anyway, so watch Alive 3, Michael Jackson, The Living Dead, if you want to see the proof that I offer, the evidence that I offer, why I believe that he is really Michael Joe Jackson. Why I believe it, okay? I'm allowed to believe whatever I want to believe, okay? And explain why I believe it. And just because you don't believe it doesn't mean it's a fake or it's a fraud. It just means you disagree. So I'm being hassled about that. But anyway, this is my buddy, my pal, Peter Michael Bobby, who I have spent over 1,000 hours, probably more like 1,300 hours talking to since January 15, 2012. Okay, so believe me, I know him way better than the rest of you guys know him. And there's so much stuff that he's done that, what's that? He's talking about his Facebook page because they ran him off Facebook. You may have used Facebook in a way that our system considers unusual, even if you didn't mean to. You can post again in 6 hours. Okay, so that was his Facebook page. Oh, here we go. Okay, so anybody who has gotten my Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries right here, okay, and see the greatest milestone right there. How did he get that DVD, right? How did he get it? Now, I gave him a code to watch online, right? And this is all his Michael's products that he has, right? He has all this Michael stuff, and these are all the products that he supports, right? Anyway, in this one here, Alive trilogy, that's mine, right? How did he get that? Let me turn my camera around, okay? The only way he could have it is if I mailed it to him, right? I had to mail it to him, right? So he's supposed to be Bobby Anderson, right? And there's like, I don't know, dozens of Bobby Andersons in Columbia, South Carolina, and there's addresses to a few Bobby Andersons in South Carolina, and I have already showed you guys that the estate pays taxes in South Carolina. Out of all states, out of 50 states in the USA, the continental USA, right? Well, there's Hawaii and Alaska that aren't continental USA, but they're part of the United States, right? How come there's only 7 states in which the estate pays taxes? And we know that one of them's California. We know another one is Gary, Indiana, because of their homes. We also know Las Vegas, right? We know Delaware because a lot of people do Delaware. Business in Delaware because of corporate taxes and all that stuff. And then we have one more state, I think it's Arizona or something, I'm not sure. And then Florida or Arizona somewhere, Georgia, I think it's Georgia. And then we have South Carolina, right? And why does Bobby Anderson from South Carolina, right? And the name Bobby Anderson is in Living with Michael Jackson on a marquee, and it's called Bob Anderson. And Bob Anderson is an impersonator. Isn't that funny? So anyway, so I looked for Bobby Anderson's so-called address in all my orders because I get the addresses and I mail out every single one of those Alive DVDs and I sign them. And you guys know, later on I put butterflies in every one of them, right? Some way, somehow, a butterfly sticker or a magnetic butterfly, which are so cute. And I have a whole bunch of them now, guys. Okay, and you guys have ordered hundreds of them, right? So, what address did he use? Because the Bobby Anderson address, I looked for that address in my, because this isn't the first time he posted this picture. He posted this picture months ago. And I was like, oh my God, he has my DVD, right? How did he get it? So I looked and I did not see the Bobby Anderson address in my database of addresses and orders, okay? So where is he? So where are you? But we know that he probably, this is what I think, because he has other addresses that he told us, like one in Hawthorne, and there's a lot of mail companies where you, like me, my mailbox is in Van Nuys, so you can use another address and then you just go pick up your mail, right? So we don't know, so he could just, joined, been somewhere for a month, right? And then join some, mailbox that's in another state, or open some mailbox that's in another state, or who knows, and had it mailed there. But I have an address connection, but who's going to go through hundreds and hundreds of addresses and figure out who's who? But anyway, I just thought that that was kind of fun that I talked to you guys about that. So anyway, we still got work to do, guys. And I love you guys. You like my new dress? This is a new dress. I splurged and got myself a new dress. It was on sale at Macy's. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it pretty? And my son got me these pearl necklaces for Christmas. Aren't they pretty? And then I have a pearl little brooch there, and I got pearls on my my bracelet, and I got some new earrings. I went to the Pan-African Film Festival, and I got these earrings. Okay, so I'm a little dressed up. So I think I'm gonna go somewhere today. I don't have any red shoes, you know. But anyway, thought you guys would like the dress. It's kind of pretty. I'm a little fat. But I'm trying to lose some weight. I'm trying to, because I gained too much weight. Because before I lived in a bigger house and I used to go up and down stairs all the time. And now I live in a small apartment. And so I'm not going up and down stairs all the time. So I'm putting on some weight. But I'm trying my best to get it off. Okay, I'm trying my best to get it off. But anyway, guys, I'm working on something special. Hopefully something will happen. But I just wanted to update you guys on some of the latest information. Wow, 50 of you guys, 49 of you guys. All right. Okay. So I'm happy about that. So make sure you pick up your copy of the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries. You can buy it on Amazon.com, or you can watch them online. So I have links on my website, michaeljacksoninsider.com. Right? So I will see you guys next time. And don't anybody without a name or a face or a voice, don't believe a word they say. Okay? Haters are haters, you know. Oh, just one quick note. I know. I just love you guys. That's why I don't want to leave. One more quick note. There's a video out there that's trying to discredit some of my theories. She's wrong. She didn't think it through. Ignore her. The only thing she can find after obsessing over my work, after doing all she could to try to discredit me, are stupid rebuttal theories that she can't prove, right? Alternatives, okay, which doesn't mean that what I say ain't true. It's just that it could be something else, but anything could be something else, right? All she could really truly find is one adjective, one wrong word. That's it. The rest of her rebuttals are stupid, and I can explain out of them. And please, oh my God, I get so tired of answering the same thing over and over and over. You know, how about Michael's, when he was in the deposition and he said his name was Michael Joseph Jackson? What about that? That's probably the biggest one. And why did Paris attempt to commit suicide if Michael's alive? Those are the two big ones. Let me answer the deposition one first. Michael could call himself the king of pop when he was on the stand, as long as he's who the law is looking for. It's not material. His legal name is not material to the case. He is material to the case, testifying. So, and it was in Mexico, a completely different jurisdiction. Okay, and what are they going to do? Why did you say your name was Michael Joseph Jackson when your name is Michael Joe Jackson? Oh, I'm sorry. And that's it. That's all. I bring that up. I show that in my live too, of course. And the other one, why did Paris attempt to commit suicide if Michael Jackson isn't dead? Well, Jermaine said she was mad because she couldn't go to a Marilyn Manson concert. And we know by looking at Paris lately that she loved to go to her concert. She loves to go to her concerts, okay? This is what Jermaine said, not me. And secondly, just days before the reported suicide attempt, she did the beautiful makeup video, okay, that I thought was so charming. I really did. I thought it was super charming. She had the personality of my daughter in that video, the makeup tutorial video. And if you look at that video, she is so smart, you know. And she's like my daughter with kind of this like sassy sarcasm and that my daughter has. And I thought she was a lot like my daughter's personality in that video. But anyway, in that video, she plays the song, Don't Stop Believing. And what are we? Us people that believe Michael faked his death, we are believers, right? That song, Don't Stop Believing, by the group Journey from their Escape album. So that was her telling us she knew she was leaving. Okay. Now, I don't wish her any sorrow, of course. And of course, nobody, I'm sure when my first boyfriend broke up with me, I was like, I need to kill myself. But I wasn't doing it. You're just so unhappy and miserable, or you just want to do what you want to do so bad that you threaten all kinds of things. Okay. It doesn't mean that every child that attempts suicide or has, is successful at that, such a terrible thing, their parents don't have to be dead for that. So I just wanted to address those couple of things, okay? Which are the two biggest ones, and why, So watch my Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries to learn what proves that Michael Jackson faked his death, not an outside issue like what Paris is doing in her life. That's not what proves that Michael Jackson is dead or alive. What she's doing, that's an outside issue. I'm talking about what Michael does, what has happened in Michael's life, and also the clues that Paris has left for us, even Prince has left for us, telling us that Michael is alive. Yes, and Catherine's left clues, and Papa Joe has left clues, and LaToya's left clues, and 3T with the Tito song, and the Price of Fame, and that whole thing. It's just, and it's all factual. All of it is factual. And all she could find was one adjective that I said wrong. That's it. So I'll give you that one adjective, girl. But everything else in my documentaries is 100% factual. Okay? And that one adjective I said wrong, guess what? It's immaterial. So 100% factual. Okay, guys? So, or 99.99999% factual? Would that make her feel better if I said 99.99999%? But anyway, I'm going to go. I'm rambling on. So please order your documentaries, and I will see you next time.